We are in the middle of a big shift. Can you feel it? Because I can. Everything around us is shifting at the moment, energetically, metaphysically, geopolitically, you name it. Everything is in a shift right now. Welcome back to Vivid Earth, everyone. Anina here for a world update today. I know I haven't done one for a while, so I thought I'd just pop in here and give you guys a little bit of an update in case you've missed some things. Wow, what is currently going on? Well, you know, probably the one on everyone's lips is that Trump is in the Middle East at the moment. He was in Saudi Arabia yesterday. The amount of honor and respect that he received from the royal palace, and more specifically Mohammed bin Salman, who he saved, I might add, in 2017 in Las Vegas. He was about to be assassinated and he was saved. And you can see that. You can absolutely just see that in the respect that he received on stage from bin Salman and the entire royal palace. It's not often that they receive world leaders in this manner. Absolutely phenomenal. This partnership is signaling something very big. In my viewpoint, this was a nail in the coffin to cement this world, the global currency reset that we're going to be seeing soon. Basically the reset of the entire financial system is being cemented right now. And yeah, I mean, a lot of you have heard of, I'm not going to say all because I know there's a lot of new people on here, Project Sandman, which was the project in which a lot of key nations were going to drop the dollar. They were going to sell US treasuries. And no, this is not a bad thing because the fiat US dollar has to be collapsed or replaced, depending on which way you want to look at it. Sorry, I got distracted for a minute. So, yeah, so this is really where the fiat dollar has to be collapsed because it is a product of the corporation, the cabal, the three-city state that implemented that fiat currency many, many years ago after the Federal Reserve was created by the cabal. So this really captured the US in all its forms. It was one of the big targets for the three-city state, the three-city state being Washington, D.C., the military sort of head of the cabal, London, the financial head, and the Vatican being the spiritual head, so to speak, or the religious. I wouldn't call it the spiritual. They all had major, massive obelisks in the center. They all are foreign territories. They all have their own flag. But as we also know, DC has been removed from the map. It's now just city of Washington. That is a major step. Google removed DC from the map a couple of, I would say, months ago. Can't remember, but it must be a good couple of months by now. So, you know, that corporation has already been bankrupted, been removed. What we're seeing out there is basically a spiritual war, a war for the narrative, because you can't tell the people something like this without there being a civil war, because people have been too brainwashed, unfortunately. So, as I said before, everything has to happen in its own timing, in its own rhythm. And to a large extent, we, the people, are responsible for how quickly this rolls out. And yes, I'm talking about you and I, the rate at which we can raise our consciousness, the rate at which we can become non-judgmental, even if we get mega irritated with those that don't want to wake up. We have a big role to play in the speed of, you know, rolling out this operation, so to speak. But we are seeing things moving, like yesterday's visit to Saudi Arabia. If you have to compare that to Biden's visit a couple of years ago, chalk and cheese. Clearly, there's a respect for this man that you cannot deny. So hopefully we'll start seeing the narrative changing, but unfortunately, I'm still seeing a lot of people that are very, very indoctrinated on Facebook. And as I said before, I think I'm just going to leave that platform now, because because I haven't been on Facebook for years. So my circle of friends on Facebook is of my old world, some of the most educated and brainwashed people on this planet. And so I see those things come up in my feed, and they just, I can't handle seeing, these kinds of posts. But it's also a bit of a reality check to say, hey, Anina, you can't live in a bubble. I know it's all looking so beautiful around us, and we bounce these kind of positive ideas off one another, but the reality of the matter is that there's still a lot of people that do not know what the hell is going on, and they are fighting to protect their oppressors due to Stockholm syndrome. So they don't even understand what's going on. But things are about to change forever on this planet. Literally, when we see the global currency revaluation happening, that'll be the spark for everything else to kind of gain speed in a massive way. We are seeing big pharma starting to fall. They're losing a lot of money on the stock exchange right now. Heads of pharma companies are stepping down. And to a large extent, yeah, this is because of Trump's latest move as well, reducing the cost of drugs in the US because they've been paying through their teeth. They basically paid for research and development for the entire world, but only the US was charged for that component. And so everything is like 100% more in the US, which is totally ridiculous. And a lot of people are saying, but big pharma is still there. How's this going to work? Well, if you can't just rip the carpet off, in front of these people, but you can start very slowly but decisively pulling the carpet out of big pharma. So that eventually they are going to fall because it simply won't make sense for them to be in business anymore. They're going to find better investments or whatever, and those responsible for drugs that have been killing and harming people will be exposed as well. And so be patient, guys, because you don't know how big this operation is, and they cannot make a mistake with this. They literally cannot make a mistake with this. But I'd like to say we are massively winning, guys. We had and apart from what you see on the political stage, we have so much galactic help. We had an X1 flare, X flare yesterday come through. We are being flooded with the most magnificent source light at the moment. We are literally ready to take that leap. We are even sidestepping any sort of potential catastrophic outcomes for our planet, including the big solar flash, because that was unfortunately going to hurt a lot of people. But that is kind of that was going to be a plan B. Okay, if this doesn't work, we're going to have to do the flash thing because Earth is too important in this galaxy just to leave on its own. So even though they can't directly interfere, and I'm talking about our galactic brothers and sisters here, they can influence, and they can send certain energies to assist the process. The choice, well, that's still ours. The choice to transcend, the choice to transform, that is ours. And a lot of people have taken this opportunity because we've had a massive sort of gateway or portal between the 5th of May and up until the full moon on the 12th, 13th. This was a major, major portal that we went through, and we just went through another major time jump for the positive. And you may have felt time is wonky, time is moving faster again. You feel different, you feel things are different around you. Those are all signs. And of course, a lot of people complain about body pains and all these things. And yes, it's going to be a little hard on your body, but it's a lot less hard than a solar flash, believe me. So this is the way we want: smooth, gradual, and organic. Ultimately, this process must be organic. And we've just had the full moon in Scorpio, which was massive. Maybe not for everyone, but at least all the fixed signs, and certainly if you're Scorpio like me or Scorpio sun, you would have felt it intensely. It wasn't necessarily fun for everyone because Scorpio is not a fun sign. It's a sign of transformation. It's a sign of death and rebirth. It's a sign it represents the phoenix rising from the ashes. And what it really is just about is it forces you to make a decision, and to see very clearly the things that don't serve you anymore. Maybe it's the relationships that don't serve you anymore. Maybe it's the old programming. Maybe it's old habits or living conditions or whatever it is that doesn't serve you anymore. It just brings that to the fore for you to look at and make a decision. Am I going to continue like this, or am I going to make changes so that I can get onto the highest possible timeline here and speed up my own ascension? And that's really what we face with here. And we're seeing a transformation in the world as well. And we saw the Diddy court case started on the 5th of May. Now, a lot of people are like, yawn, we've heard and seen all this before, whatever's being revealed in that court case, because there's actually much, much more worse things that need to come out. And yes, I understand that, but the sleeping masses don't. So unfortunately, we are here to lead the way. This movie that's playing out on the world stage is not for us. Okay, it's for the sleeping masses. And we got to stop waiting and being impatient, because actually it's a golden time, a golden opportunity to work on yourself, to get yourself ready for ascension, to care for your body, to detox your vessel, to do all of these things that are going to raise your consciousness, your vibration, and ultimately get you ready for ascension, because this entire planet will be ascending. And we still have a choice point. Not everyone will be ascending at this point. So we still have that choice point, and we cannot rest on our laurels. We have to keep growing, keep pushing, keep, really feeling our heart through all of this, because, you can't ascend with, you're going to ascend through your heart, not through your head. So you've got to feel things through your heart. You've got to activate your heart chakra. You've got to humble yourself. You've got to calm that ego down. Tell it it's okay. There's no lions chasing us. You can take a little bit of a back seat now, because this is still a time of rapid change. But I do believe a lot of negative entities have left the earth in recent days and weeks, which is excellent news, because we can do with some extra help. It just makes things much easier. So, and we are firmly on a very, 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 very positive trajectory. So things are going to start happening now. Don't judge, and miss the wood for the trees, because we don't necessarily understand every single move unless we can decode them. So you have to just focus on what you are able and have influence over changing. And that is yourself, and how you interact with others, how you judge others, or you don't. So that is what we need to focus on. And we need to focus on the new earth that we want to create, because we are the co-creators of this new earth. I keep saying it, but we are, every single one of us. And you all like, I love this analogy. I can't remember who said this, that we are all like acupuncture needles across the planet, like light needles that are anchoring the light on the meridians of the earth. This is why you're in your specific location. But a lot of people are getting the inkling now that they maybe can move now, because they've done what they needed to in their area. So, if you get that calling, look into it, investigate it further, ask for advice and help from your guides, from your higher self. It's a time also where we need to stop giving away our power as much as we did in the past, because we are the powerful multidimensional beings that we've been waiting for. And it's, the more you ponder over that, the more you meditate over that, the more you understand that interaction, that you are not this body. You just chose this body to learn some lessons and to be in a position to help others at this point. And, not to overly identify with this body and all of its character and all its experiences and its traumas and its past sadness, whatever you want to call it, but truly know that you are multidimensional, and take that neutral observer point of view, where you can actually look at your life and say, it's okay, Anina, this is one aspect of us, and I will take the lessons in every moment, every situation. I'm going to be spiritually sovereign, meaning I'm going to stop blaming others. I'm just going to take accountability for my own life and responsibility, and from here on, and become spiritually sovereign, because that's where freedom and ascension really kicks into gear, when you can do that. Because then you see, okay, I chose it, maybe a difficult life or a difficult human life, but it's okay. I'm doing this for the greater good, and knowing that this is just fleeting. Learn the lessons, move on, let go, because that's how you can walk into the new, not by clinging to the old, not by clinging to old resentments and angers and judgments and all these things. You're going to have to let all of that go. You literally cannot go to New Earth with any of that stuff. No judgments, no resentments, no anger. You've got to drop all of that. You've got to work through all of that. So, I know with all of you, some days are amazing, blissful, other days are maybe difficult. As we move forward into this ascension, we get less and less difficult days, but sometimes they still pop up. None of us are ascended masters here, so we still have some stuff to deal with, but you just learn quickly, and you move forward. Learn the lesson, move forward. If something difficult pops up, ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? Please, let me learn it. I want to move forward. I want to move on. I don't want to cling to this. And that's really, what we need to move to the beautiful next level. Now, what else has been happening? Shall I pull up some news and see what I can update you on? Just give me 1 second and I will see what else is happening. Okay, let me quote some more good news. $2.2 trillion surge in the US stock market between yesterday and today. And this is just something that came out of the US-China trade deal. Absolutely incredible. So you can see how Trump is slowly but surely unifying all these nations when the time is right, just so that he doesn't seem to be in China's pocket or in Russia's pocket. So it has to be done gently, step by step, get the people to see what's really going on. And actually, the proof is in the pudding. So if the people of the US are doing better, they're having more money in their pockets, things are peaceful, peace is being negotiated worldwide, an end to all these wars, well, what are people going to say about that? Can't really say much negative things about that, or can you? And the US is just the starting point for this blossoming of society once more. So, that's why we're focusing on the US news, because that's where it starts, and as the world superpower. But it's going to take, it's going to just spread across the planet, believe me. So the US Treasury shocked the world with the second biggest budget surplus in history. I shared this on the Telegram channel. That was an article from Zero Hedge. You can read up on that. If you're not yet on our Telegram channel, make sure you are there, because that's where all the good stuff gets shared. So many posts every day that can keep you informed and also keep you inspired. So we share a little bit of both. World intel, spiritual news, and inspiration. So it's all there. So officially, gold is money again. As of the 1st of July 2025, physical gold becomes a tier 1 high quality liquid asset under Basel III regulations, equal to cash in the eyes of global banking. The US banks can count 100% of gold's market value toward core reserves. The return of gold-backed stability signals a new paradigm for financial sovereignty. So gold is now, already in the US, I think there's 47 states that have already declared that they accept gold as money. So this is all a process that have been rolling out across a few years now. And this is where we are at this stage, guys. So Basel III is the thing that makes it official. And this is the thing that all banks have to now adhere to. They have to have a certain amount of gold or asset-backed funds. They can no longer just print money on a keyboard or on a screen, because they've been lending us magic money that doesn't even exist. Never mind, the money that does exist is actually fake as well, because it's just paper notes. It's fiat currency. It's backed by nothing, like literally nothing, not even thin air. So, yeah, the global power structures have collapsed. Finally, the Vatican is powerless. The City of London no longer controls finance. Washington, D.C. is neutered. The deep state is a syndicate. Big tech, big media, big pharma, big government, and the military industrial complex has been strategically dismantled bit by bit over the last 8 years. And it has been 8 years, by the way, since this adventure called Q has begun. And so it's taken us this long to get to this point, but we are here. We are finally at this beautiful turning point on this planet. The white lines, meaning Trump, Elon, RFK Jr., Mohammed bin Salman, Bukele, Putin, Xi, and of course the 200 plus generals standing behind them executing this incredible military operation. They've been surgically neutralizing the dark web of control. Each tentacle of the deep state is being severed publicly and lawfully, which is very important because you've got to do it lawfully. Otherwise, the cabal is going to scream, ah! You can't risk that. So everything has to be done according to the fake legal system, which will change as well. The lower level operatives hold no authority with no jurisdiction in the emerging new republic. Remember, this corporation called USA Inc., masquerading as a government, was already bankrupted 8 years ago. So a lot has been going on. This is not a quick operation. So this is a controlled demolition, minimal casualties, and that is in the best interest for everyone on this planet. We are witnessing a precise takedown, assets frozen, operations shut down, and financial tools reclaimed, all orchestrated to avoid widespread financial harm to the public. Yes, so don't panic. Don't pull out all your money out of the banks. You will be fine. Just make sure your bank is Basel III compliant, which most of them are. So that's all, Expect more volatility and sharp market swings as old systems crumble and wealth is redistributed into secure holdings aligned with the new paradigm. So there is going to be still a lot of things happening to the stock market. It's going to go up and down. And this is all part of their strategy of shifting the levers of power. And when you have somebody like Warren Buffett coming along and saying that perhaps you should pull your money out of the stock market, perhaps you should invest in gold. People need to take that seriously, and I think that is for the public also to make the transition easier. They're using that character, which is supposedly a trusted financial guru and whale, stock market whale, we can call him. So I think they're using him for that purpose, to help the people, to influence the people, because there may be some damage. So it's just to help people have a more smooth transition. So we're seeing all of this happening, guys, and Operation Sandman is in progress, and the whole idea is to switch from the US fiat dollar as it currently stands to the US note. So that is one of the transitions, and that note will be backed by gold. So that transition has to happen. So the cabal, their money is being obliterated, all their assets, all their stronghold, and the powers, the levers of power are shifting, and the wealth is shifting as well. There's a lot of wealth that most people don't know about, that is just quietly waiting in the background, waiting for this wealth redistribution. I'm talking about trillions and hundreds of trillions and gazillions of dollars. I'm not kidding you. And a lot of it came via the Asian elders who have been saving this in a trust for literally decades. So there's going to be a lot of shocking revelations coming, and it's all part of the plan. And in the meantime, you need to do what you do best, which is to work on your own transformation, because doesn't just help you, it helps the entire human collective, because the more of us do the work, the more this heightened consciousness sort of permeates the quantum field and others just absorb it. And this is how, as a humanity, as a human race, we are transcending. That's how it's going to work, just like the 100 monkey effect. So whether we're still going to see the emergency broadcast alert system or not, I think we will. But certain things have to fall in place. Apparently, the Iraqi dinar has already been revalued in country, but only in country people have access to that at this point. Once it goes international, well, the dominoes are going to start falling. So this is imminent. And, in the meantime, our DNA is being activated big time. So there's a lot of things that we also start just suddenly understand that we didn't before, simply because our DNA has been awakened. So the lens at which we look at things, the way we perceive things become different. And we suddenly have information, insights, and wisdom that we didn't have before. So this is quantum. This is, the quantum age that we live in, this quantum leap that we're busy making. It's not necessarily logical for us the way our brain currently functions, but if we can just tap into that quantum, we can feel it, we can understand it, we can grasp what that would be. So, and yes, we will still see some chaos play out around the world. These are the last dying breaths of a system that is no longer working on this planet, shifting of powers, old control structures are falling. So you just focus on the positive. Don't let any negative news interfere with your focus. I know we have this syndrome here on Earth. We don't want to be caught off guard. We've been messed with so many times. We've been, conquered so many times. And isn't this just another trap? Well, that's completely up to you. What you focus on and what lens you see through things, because that is going to become your reality. So just be careful of that. Have the belief and faith that there's a beautiful future waiting for us. Not something that somebody else is going to bring you, but something that we're going to be anchoring in as spiritual sovereign beings. Okay? It is all about you and what you focus on. So I'm counting on you to anchor in the new earth in a beautiful way, not in a skeptical, doom and gloom way. That ain't going to work, and it's not going to help anyone. At this point, we're just waiting for a signal to see the King of England go down, which it has to. So it's all about the right moment. And even Biden, there was a report that they have found in a medical test some sort of lump or something, a testicular lump. So you can see things are building. And what do they make all of these bad guys get? Almost all of them, cancer. Not just any cancer, but testicular cancer. I think that's a signal for us. These have all been people that have committed horrible crimes against little ones and innocent people. And this is the way that it has to happen. They will be exposed in due time when the public is ready. Even Zelensky wore his pants up, back to front. Where did we see that before with Biden as well, right? You have to embarrass them. I've seen people share the video of these three men on the train, steer calmer, Keir Starmer and Macron, and say, wow, these are like great men, I don't know. That's just so bizarre for me. And with a little baggie of Coke on the table there when they were photographed by the media. All those things are on purpose, and the internet is going crazy, and that is all part of the movie. We're seeing a movie play out at the moment. Nothing more, nothing left. So yeah, just know that Space Force and the White Hats are in control, and things are happening and progressing in the best possible way that it can. So you just trust in that. So I forgot to mention King Charles, another signal He's just removed the QE2 seal. Yeah, he's just removed it. I wonder why. So things are happening. Just to round it all off with all the metaphysical and galactic influence that we're currently seeing, Earth has been terraformed from dark to light right now in the most galactic operation ever witnessed. This is from Cosmic Light Force. This planetary liberation event is something that first had to happen with you, and only then would it manifest outward into reality. First personally, then collectively. This is happening from a subatomic biological level down inside of you, in your DNA. This cosmic light force galactivation has been firing powerful 40 plus hertz gamma photon light waves to strengthen the etheric light grid that serves as the new crystalline framework for New Earth. This light grid is being activated directly over the old 3D matrix as the physical structure of the Earth matrix systems are being upgraded. The large recent influxes of gamma light are triggering major DNA activations within all Earth life. Gamma light is a special spectrum of light that is emitted in various wave rays, and the levels are increasing daily to upgrade our DNA. Matrix scientists still have an elementary understanding of the biological effects from this advanced gamma light, even though many scientists globally have experienced and discovered a proven fact that gamma light waves can transform all living organisms' DNA from one species to another. Much of this mainstream science community were not ready or responsible enough for any practical or usage of tech humanely. And I just even listened to a video of Pam Gregory, the astrologer, recently, in which she described the moment when the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, when these new butterfly cells are being formed and multiplied like crazy. Like that is the new Earth you, the new blueprint, you know, the new crystalline light body that we morphing into. So when this process happens, those butterfly cells are being created by the dozens. And at first, the caterpillar will resist that, and it will consume that, and it will try and get rid of that because it's fearing for its life, right? Life as it knows it knows it. So, but eventually, the butterfly cells completely consumes the caterpillar, and a new being with new cells and a new structure is born. And that is what's happening to us. Our DNA is being transformed and upgraded into a crystalline format from carbon to crystal. So this is quite magnificent. Most scientists have not been even ready to look at that, but a few have, especially the quantum physicists and those that have studied quantum physics, have a better understanding of that kind of science, which most of them are ignoring. So scientists have proof that by beaming a gamma laser of light through the embryonic cells of one species into the embryo of a second species causes the second species embryo to be born as a hybrid of both species. How's that? Wow. So experiments have been done with a chicken egg beamed with the DNA of a duck egg, causing it to become a hybrid chicken and duck. With oranges and apples, it's been done, vegetation and other animals, all having the same results of hybrid DNA activations. This is 100% true, so you can do your own research on that. You are genetically upgrading, and this is reflecting into our physical quantum realm. Wow. How exciting is that? So basically what we are seeing now is a timeline convergence, once again, a big one. Old anchors are no longer holding. The decisions you make now have more meaning than before. And so this is a big one. Where am I now? You're being drawn deeper into alignment, your own alignment and that of the planet. So at this point, it looks like the two worlds or the two Earths will no longer be separating, but that they already have. So things are happening in quantum speed right now. So What we see, in other words, people, events, they're only echoes of the separated timeline. This prevents us from being shocked because everything we knew and who we knew is gone. Everything now flows together like a chalk drawing on the street when the rain falls on it. So, there are certain things that you may see that is purely there just constructing your reality, call it a hologram, to make things not so weird so we can transition more easily. And remember, there will be two different worlds, and a different version of you will be on that 3D earth. So those people will still see you in a way, in a form, but our consciousness will mainly be in this higher realm, in this 5D earth plane. And that is exciting. So, you are not only becoming something else, but you're actually remembering, because you have all this galactic DNA within you. You have all this multidimensional versions of you in other realities right now, not past, present, future, but right now. So you're actually just remembering slowly but surely. You're remembering who you really are and where you come from and the experience that you've had. So this is basically a thunderous cry of your soul breaking through the illusion of time and separation. Isn't that beautiful? You were never a spark waiting to be lit. You were the inferno before the world began. I love that. See who said that. The idea that you must become something, heal endlessly, chase words, or reach some mythical state of perfection, that is the lie, the conditioning, the veil. In truth, you're already whole, already divine, already the embodiment of sacred fire, clothed in human flesh and bone. Awakening is not an ascent. It is a homecoming to remembrance. So you just need to make time and space for that homecoming, that remembrance. Just be still. You literally do not have to do much for this process to happen. Just be still, be quiet, do some meditations, do some guided meditations if it's difficult for you to meditate. These are all things that are going to help you. The flame you seek through teachers, gurus, trials, rituals, and initiations is your own, actually. You are the flame and the forge, the shadow and the sword. Every wound you've endured, every breakdown, every betrayal, every night you collapse under the weight of silence, shedding those quiet tears. These were not curses. They were the sacred flames cracking the shell, burning away illusions and impurities so that your true self can rise. You weren't being destroyed. You were being revealed. So isn't that just beautiful? You're not sent here to awaken. You were sent here to remember and reclaim. To reclaim your vision, your voice, your frequency, your fierce compassion, your cosmic memory. And as you reclaim, you do not just liberate yourself. You become a living, breathing lighthouse for others to find their own light. Your light becomes a beacon that speaks not in mere words alone, but within your very presence. You become the reminder others didn't know they were waiting for. Because in the end, the truth is fire, and you are the wildfire of God, source, creator. You are the phoenix, not the ashes. You are not here to play small, stay silent, or beg for belonging. You are here to ignite and detonate within the remembrance in a sleeping world, to walk like light wrapped in a form and blaze so brightly that every shadow around you is transmuted into power, purpose, and love. You are the alchemist. That is only a taste of how powerful your light can blaze. That was from the Divine Souls portal. Isn't that beautiful, guys? So take your power back. Know that the power lies in your hands. Your progress lies in your hands. Your potential lies in your own hands, not in somebody else's hands. Okay? Sometimes we need a little help with this or that, but do not become overly dependent, because you yourself have the ability to transcend, to heal yourself, to shine brighter than you ever have, and to blossom into a whole new being with upgraded DNA. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I hope that's inspired you, and please make sure that you are subscribed on this channel and share this with others so that we can spread the light on this planet like we have been doing. And also Telegram, make sure you are subscribed there. because that's where we share all of the news and information. And if you need more support, you can join our Zoom community, our 5D mastery community. We meet on Zoom every second Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 7 p.m. SA Standard Time. So yeah, we are a beautiful, intimate community that is just supporting one another, and we just, grow together as a community and connect. And I've seen people really forge beautiful connections on there. So you're welcome to join. The link is below in the description. And last but not least, if you want to join our retreat at the end of the month, I've got 2 spots available still. So if you do want to come, we can offer a 10% discount, which is just literally a last minute discount, even though the packages are quite tight. I just want to fill it up. So just, take hold of that opportunity if this resonates with you. The link is below as well, where you can read up on the retreat. It's a transformation retreat, 3 days. So guys, have a wonderful week. Step into this new reality like you were born for it, and embrace it with both arms, because we are headed for a beautiful, beautiful time, more incredible than you can ever imagine. So look forward to that. Love yourself, love others, and I'm sending you much love. I'll speak to you soon.